All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our virtues pick for this morning. Let me adjust this a little bit. We have a great word this morning, and that virtue is charity. And so, what a great time of the year to be considering this. Let's read the description first, and then we'll go from there. Charity is a giving heart, a generous way of viewing others and caring for their needs. Unless we are charitable, no matter how much excellence we acquire, it is without purpose. Charity springs from compassion for the suffering of others, even those we don't know. Charity moves us, and we respond to their needs, giving help and kindness. We make a genuine difference in their lives. When we are charitable, we don't judge others. We give them the benefit of the doubt. Charity is caring made manifest. It begins with those closest to us and includes ourselves. Charity creates a circle of love. So, again, what a great word and a virtue that we all want not only to display ourselves, but also to have our children develop as they come along. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But as I was reading this, as always, I'm always thinking about how does this virtue show itself up in my life first, and then how does it show up in the family? What can I do inside my own family that shows charity? And we've heard, the saying that goes, charity begins at home. And so how does it begin? Well, maybe it begins by having that generous viewpoint of caring for the needs of those in the family, and for each person individually, there's going to be a different need, right, and a different amount of attention, and a different amount of, and maybe a different way of giving that. And then second, I think the other thing is where it talks about in the description, it talks about not judging others. It's very easy for us to come to a quick opinion and to assume that we know what the intentions were of another person, especially someone close to us. And so for me, I have to be very careful not to just come to that quick decision, to see something happen, a person, someone in my family to act a certain way, and then just assume that I know what their purpose was, what was their intention, why are they doing this, right? And it's easy for us to go like, oh, they always do this or whatever. But charity says it moves us to ask that question. I think, what is it that they need right now? How are they suffering, and what does this person need? And am I willing to give that help? And so we're going to measure whether the help we're giving, to be sure that the help that we're giving is the correct thing to do for this person at this time. So sometimes the issue that has come up is their responsibility, and for us to step in and try and take that over isn't charitable at all. In fact, it's rather judging, and it's rather assumption. It's an assumption that they can't do it themselves. If we want to be charitable in that situation, maybe the right thing to do is to take our time to listen in a manner that helps them to come to their own decisions and make movements on situations as they see as being best for them, and allow that to happen. On the other hand, there's going to be, inside the family, there's going to be times, and on a regular basis, we're going to share responsibilities in the family. That's being charitable. We're going to give help where help is needed. That's going to be charitable. We're going to demonstrate kindness in all of our different ways, in our words and actions. And that's what's needed in the family if we're going to be a unified team working towards our own vision and mission for our family. And so charity does begin with those closest to us. And if we want to teach our children about charity, then obviously, as always, the first thing is always leading by example, right? Because kids are visual learners, and the best way to teach them about giving and about being helpful and about being kind and all of those other virtues, including charity, we have to model that behavior ourselves. And when we do that, that sets an example that that they will either grow into or certainly appreciate to some degree. And it's not saying that every person is going to have that virtue in equal amounts, because they're not. Some are just going to be more, some are just going to be more moved to help others. But we want to continue developing that virtue. And so talk about it as a family. Make that a something maybe that you look at once a month, or on a regular basis, of what can we do this month to be helpful to others, and start with inside the family, and then let it grow outside of that to others. Another thing that is a possibility for us that maybe you've already implemented in the house, but when if you have if you give an allowance to a child, having that three bucket approach, how does that go? It's like one is for the things that you want, one is for savings, and one is for charity. So and then we divide up the allowance. We determine ahead of time how we're going to do that so that it's a fair kind of situation for the kids too. And so, those are some ways that we can help develop this virtue of charity with our kids. And at the same time, we're teaching ourselves really too, right? We're developing that those feelings, those charitable feelings. And I think, anytime we are teaching or coaching or mentoring or helping someone to find their own virtues, we help ourselves too. And so, that's just what I have experienced over the years of teaching kids and working with families. So those are my thoughts today about charity. How will I show charity today? My first and foremost thing is always with the family first. I don't believe that if you are not able to demonstrate a virtue within your family, then whatever you do on the outside is all hypocritical. And that's just a belief I have. And, boop, there we go. I meant to bring that up earlier. That's a belief that I have. And I just, I'm going to be focusing today on how can I be most helpful? What can I do to demonstrate helpfulness and to demonstrate a caring attitude with family members. So, and I'll probably end up doing some chores too, which will be a charitable act. So thank you very much for being here. We enjoyed discussing this virtue of charity. We're going to focus on it today. We invite you to do the same. And until we meet next time, keep focusing on all of the virtues. But today we're going to focus on charity and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. All right, until next time, bye.